Hi, sports media. It's Mr. Good. I hope you're doing all right. I'm here to provide some information for you about what to expect moving forward for the rest of the year in this course. So, what we're going to be doing here is taking a project-based approach. So it's going to be similar to what we were doing in class, except I'm not going to be there to help you through and in some cases get you off topic. Uh, so let me show you a few things I have up on the screen that you should be able to see. The first thing I'm going to open is what was sent out, or what is rather available through the Fleetwood Area School District website. It's information for you guys and your families. And there's really a couple pieces that I want you to know about. One is, let's see if it circles there. One is that one. All work begins the 14th, which is Tuesday. That's probably when you're viewing this video. Let me see if I can get rid of. No, that's not it. Oh, there it was. Okay, it was Alt Z. So that's the date that the work's going to start, the required work. So what has been posted up until this point is not required. It's voluntary. Now the information that is going to be posted to Google Classroom is going to be considered to be required. And I'm going to show you how that's going to work moving a little bit forward here. April 14th to 17th, classes begin. This is a transition week, rather, to mandatory school and online learning environment. There's attendance codes for you grade level wise. I will show you where to find them. Expectations here from the district, expectations as far as attendance is concerned. If you require any kind of assistance as far as special education is concerned. And then there's other important information here. Statewide assessments are canceled. Athletics and curricular clubs and all activities are canceled. And then AP students, this may pertain to you if you are an AP student. And then if you have questions, there's some information there for you. Okay, so this document right here is found on the Google Classroom page. So let me backtrack a little bit. So this is our Google Classroom page, and this is some information that you might want to know about. First, this is the course and the banner. These are my office hours. I'll explain those in a little bit. This is the statement saying contact me via email should you need one-on-one help or direction. And here, my email address. You see attendance codes by grade down here on the bottom. Okay, those are what you can use to check in for attendance for the district. That has nothing to do with this class. I'm just giving them to you now so that you can check in where you need to check in on Google Classroom as per the district requirements. If you click on classwork, it will take you to the classwork page, obviously, and I have created a thread called distance learning. All right, this is where you're going to find all of your information. We looked at the notification of district expectations during the closure. And we're going to look at as well two more things here pertaining to this class. These are my expectations. And then there's going to be these two documents that deal with the actual content we're getting into starting this week. So my expectations. Let me show you what I need to show you. And then if you have questions, email is the best way to get a hold of me, obviously. I'm assuming many of you aren't going to have questions, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. So let me put this into full screen. And it loads. There it is. All right. I need a haircut. Ooh. All right. So distance learning expectations for me. This is unprecedented. You've heard this before. It's true. I've never encountered something like this. You've never encountered something like this, but we're going to work through this time away to continue learning in some way, shape, or form. Okay, this presentation is going to allow you to better understand what the expectations are in this course. The objective here, as long as we're physically away from the school, the main objective is to continue that learning. Grading. There are going to be requirements for me to give you grades. There are going to be requirements for you to submit assignments. It's difficult to give you a grade average and a number. It's a difficult thing when I can't interact with you on a daily basis, and there are so many, I guess, question marks associated with how learning is occurring. But we're going to try. Okay. If at any point in time you feel like life is getting in the way of what you need to be able to do here, your job is to reach out to me. I'm a realist. You understand that. I will work with you as much as I can within the constraints of what the school allows to be able to get you to where you need to be and to be able to get these grades squared away. Okay, deadlines might need to be adjusted because of that, but the point is you should reach out to me if you need some assistance. Assignments. Assignments are required for this class. It's going to be project based. I said that before. I'm typically going to present a topic on a Sunday via Google. Uh, with that assignment is typically going to be a video like the one you're watching right now. And we might have the capability to digitally present rather. So if that's something that you guys would like to do, I can't require that you all meet at the same time in the same format, but if that's something you'd like to try out, we can give that a go and see how that works, and we'll work around that idea. Attendance, we talked about. If you have any questions about attendance, you have to contact the high school office. I know nothing about that. My office hours. That's if you have questions that can't be answered via email and you need to interact with me face to face or as close as we can get here. Within, again, the constraints of what the school district allows. If you need to meet virtually with me, have you walk or to have the time for me to walk you through something, by all means, reach out and we'll schedule it. But that needs to happen between 8:30 and 10:30 Monday through Friday. Okay, and you have to make an appointment. You can't just pop in online and say, Mr. Good, can you meet with me on Zoom right now or Google Meet right now? You have to schedule that with me via email. We have to set up a time in the future to do that. Again, most of you are going to be okay with email communication. Some of you can use the Google communication features too, like the class comments, and you can get what you need. And some of you are going to have no questions at all, and that's fine. If you need more help, reach out. We'll get it squared away. We will persevere. If you have any questions, post them in the Google comment box, the class comment box rather, on Google Classroom. But it's an uncharted time. We're in uncharted territory, and it's a very, very strange thing, but we'll get through it. So those are my expectations. Let's go to the actual content we're looking at. So these aren't available to you yet. They will be in a few minutes. Or actually, they'll be available tomorrow. I'm recording this on Easter Sunday, so they'll be available on Monday evening. So there are two things: a rough draft and a final draft. The first piece of content that we're going to be looking at deals with inspirational athletes. Let's take a look at what that entails. So let me click that with this. Okay, so there are 3 documents that go along with it. So see the attached document for instructions. The presentation should be in Google Slides. There are 2 parts for this assignment. The first part that you see here in the first assignment is a checkpoint that's going to be due on Saturday, April 18th. For this date, you need to upload a rough draft of your project. Doesn't need to be finished, shouldn't be finished. I don't expect it to be finished. It's going to help me when you upload a rough draft or an incomplete project. It's going to help me give you targets, and it's going to help me help you by looking at your project and commenting where I need to comment and giving you some reminders and tips. So let's look at what is required here as far as the inspirational sports stories. What you need to be able to do, and you're going to see it pop up right now, is figure out what inspires you. You need to research and prepare a presentation based on an inspirational sports story or an inspirational athlete. You should be able to explain the athlete beyond just saying they're inspirational to me. You need to provide concrete evidence of why. The basic requirements here: you should define what inspiration is. You should choose an athlete or a story that has inspired you or inspires you. Who is the athlete or the team? Where? When? What happened? Why? You need to include a quote or quotes from anyone at any time that could apply to your chosen scenario. Why is this quote appropriate? You should explain. You should have a multimedia clip of some sort if you can. That one, so that requirement right there, this multimedia requirement, that's really up to you. But I'm expecting that you have one. If you don't, I'll let it slide here because we're not in the classroom. And I can't necessarily help you with that. But if you need extra help in getting that in there, if you choose to go down that avenue, that's okay. But I will work with you on the multimedia clip one. You need 4 images in your presentation, and you need to have an MLA formatted works cited slide. So Same kind of setup as before, same kind of material that you need to find, but the inspirational sports stories is your focus this time. Okay, we'll close that. The second sheet you see here is the sign up sheet. I've assigned and locked the first column. Okay, I have your last names there. If I'm missing anybody, please reach out to me. I don't think I am. I double checked it, but I've made mistakes before and I'm going to make them again. So you should check that and make sure your names are there. And then you choose your chosen athlete. It can be a team too, or a story that is obviously true, but revolves around sports. This is the sign up sheet. Okay. And then here are your rubrics. These are the rubrics moving forward. I've simplified them dramatically. I'm having two parts for each project, a rough draft part and a final draft portion. The rough draft rubric is 6 points and the final draft rubric is 6 points. Okay. So content, progress, and mechanics for the rough draft. 2 points for each. The content says it's accurate, the images are appropriate, and work is original, which means you haven't copied and pasted from a source. Progress. You're making sufficient progress and there's room for improvement. I'm expecting you to give me something incomplete, okay, for the rough draft. And then mechanics, spelling, punctuation, capitalization, conventions. You're paying attention to them. They're not necessarily perfect. It doesn't matter if they are, but you're paying attention to them, okay? And then the final draft rubric, the content is thorough. All requirements are met. You have the requirements on another document. Completion. The project is obviously complete. There are no loose ends. No information needs more explanation. And then you have sources. They're included on an appropriate works cited slide, and the format is correct with your sources. As far as sources are concerned, and as far as format is concerned, you know that I prefer that you don't use Wikipedia as a source that you list. You can use it as a good starting place. You can use it to get your information. Don't list it on your works cited page. But for citation information, you have resource here. It's the MLA Works Cited resource. And then down, where is it? Here you have MLA information. And this goes to a different part of the online writing lab at Purdue. So you have that information available to you. I don't think there are any others. You have that information available to you. Okay. So that is for the rough draft. Here, where you will upload your completed version of that project. Okay. The only thing that's here is the rubric, but it says this is the second portion. The due date is April 25th, basically at midnight. You need to upload a final draft of your project. It needs to be finished and attached to this post. So essentially, just like it was in class, you have just about 2 weeks to finish this project from beginning to end. The only difference here with the online environment is that you have to submit a rough draft, and I'm going to comment for you and give you some information based on what you submit, okay, for the rough draft, and then you use that moving forward for your final draft, okay? So I hope that clarifies some things for you. I don't think I am missing anything. No, I'm not. I don't think that there's anything else up here on my tabs. No rubrics, inspirational sports stories. Okay, so you will see those opened up rather tomorrow at I don't know, let's say sometime in the evening. We'll get them up there in the evening at some point, and we'll go from there. Again, if you have questions, please let me know. And I wish you the best. Stay safe, and I'll be in touch.